So if you've got a smartphone in your pocket, maybe a smartwatch on your wrist, or, wireless earbuds in right now, just take a second and really look at them. We spend so much time totally obsessing over those shiny exteriors, right? The slick designs, the famous brand names stamped on the back. But today, in this explainer, we're going to do something a little different. We're going to metaphorically tear those devices wide open. We're looking way past the glossy marketing to uncover the true engines of innovation and, more importantly, the real engines of massive wealth generation. Buckle up because we're exploring the invisible tech winners hiding deep inside the global supply chain. Okay, let's dive into this. It's a question we literally see playing out in the headlines every single day. When these massive household name tech giants go to war over specs and features, who actually wins? I mean, we naturally assume the ultimate victor is the company whose shiny logo is slapped on the box you bring home. But honestly, that assumption completely misses the much larger, way more fascinating economic reality that's happening right beneath our fingertips. Section 1, the invisible tech winners. Let's map out this hidden, highly lucrative supply chain. See, the true victors in the global consumer electronics game aren't necessarily those famous brand manufacturers you know and love. The real winners? They're the invisible supply chain vendors. Why? Because they're the ones actually mastering the core tech. Whether we're talking about the latest high-end smartphone, your daily fitness tracker, or those noise-canceling earbuds you can't live without, the massive wealth generated by these gadgets is actually flowing straight to the companies selling the internal hardware. They literally hold the keys that make these devices function. And this shift matters right now more than ever. We're standing on the edge of a massive technological wave. Think about the rollout of generative AI directly on our end-user devices, like the whole AI phone trend, along with this universal push for everyday health tracking. It's triggering what industry folks call a massive new manufacturing dividend. This isn't just your standard run-of-the-mill upgrade cycle. No, it's a tidal wave of fresh demand for highly specialized, super complex parts. And that translates into an absolute explosion of wealth for these hidden manufacturers who provide the essential guts of our modern tech. Section 2, labor to tech intensive. Let's look at how this manufacturing landscape has completely changed over time. 3 to 4%. Just let that microscopic number sink in for a second. In the past, the contract manufacturing of our electronics relied heavily on incredibly cheap labor to earn what were essentially pennies on the dollar. It was this brutal, volume-driven game, a strictly labor-intensive assembly process with razor-thin, microscopic profits. Simply put, it was tough, grueling economics. But man, we has moved so far away from those 3 to 4% days. The shift from that old-school labor-intensive assembly over to technology-intensive manufacturing has totally rewritten the rulebook. Today's supply chain dividend isn't about running cheap sweatshops anymore. Not at all. It's about operating impenetrable patent fortresses. It requires deep, specialized chip design capabilities and high-yield, pinpoint precision manufacturing. By building these massive technical barriers, these once invisible vendors have completely transformed their businesses from low-margin assembly lines into absolute engines of massive excess profit. Section 3, 3 pillars of profit. We're going to metaphorically crack open a modern AI device right now to examine the 3 specific, highly lucrative core blocks inside. So here's your roadmap to the inside of your phone. The real value is fiercely divided into 3 high-barrier components. Number 1, semiconductors and advanced packaging. Number 2, optics and sensor modules. And number 3, key components and precision assembly. Let's break down exactly why these 3 pillars hold so much power and command such incredible wealth. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is our first pillar, semiconductors and advanced packaging. Think about it. To process AI directly on your phone, you need unbelievably powerful, hyper-efficient core chips. This is the domain of pure-play foundries, companies like TSMC. They handle the creation of the core chips and all that crazy, complex, advanced packaging required to actually make them work together. Because the technical threshold here is practically insurmountable for any newcomer, foundries like TSMC are positioned as the absolute biggest beneficiaries of this entire AI upgrade wave. But the value definitely doesn't stop at the processor. Think about the last time you zoomed in 100x on your phone camera, or when your smartwatch casually alerted you to an irregular heartbeat. We're talking about periscope lenses, advanced 3D sensing, and complex optical biohealth chips. These things are absolutely mandatory for modern wearables now. And because getting a microscopic lens to bend light perfectly, or a tiny sensor to accurately read blood flow right through your skin, requires such incredibly high technical thresholds, well, These components command incredibly rich, fat profit margins. It's a gold mine. Finally, the third pillar is all about physical marvels, key components and assembly. Just think about the physical hardware that makes a modern folding phone snap shut with that perfect, satisfying resistance. That's a high-capacity folding hinge. Or think about the complex chip cooling modules required to keep your new AI phone from literally melting in your hand, along with those precision bearings. And pulling all of this together, that requires massive, highly automated electronic manufacturing services, or EMS giants. We aren't talking about humans with screwdrivers anymore. We're talking about vast humming fields of robotics achieving flawless precision at a massive scale. Section 4. The ultimate profit moat. Let's look at exactly why these specific companies are practically untouchable. So an economic moat is essentially a deep, wide, competitive advantage that protects the company's profits from rivals. In this invisible tech empire, that moat is definitely not made of water. It's built entirely out of patents. It's built of proprietary chip designs and the rare ability to achieve high-yield precision manufacturing where pretty much everyone else fails. These vendors have built walls so remarkably high and so complex around their specific piece of the tech puzzle that trying to compete with them from scratch is, well, nearly impossible. It all boils down to this one reality. Regardless of which brand wins the spec war, the hidden supply chain shares the massive global manufacturing dividend. The big consumer brands on the front lines are out there spending billions on marketing, fighting tooth and nail just for your loyalty. But that invisible supply chain, they're the arms dealers. They are happily supplying the essential weapons to all sides of the tech war, securely sitting behind their massive economic moats, just counting their shared global manufacturing dividend. It's brilliant. So the very next time you tap your screen, check your wrist for a notification, or pop in your earbuds, take a second to think about the invisible empires operating right beneath the glass. When you really look at your device, you've got to ask yourself, who actually holds the power in your pocket?